Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Man, just a serial entrepreneur here trying to help people that want to make $500 a month up to $1 million a year. That is my goal, is hopefully I can help you progress through your entrepreneurship. So let's just talk about, do you feel like you're stuck? So it usually comes down to one of these four things. One, it comes down to decision fatigue, fear of the wrong move, doing everything yourself, and no clear next step. Those are the four things that it really comes down to. It just reminds me, like, I'm playing golf. If you guys don't know, I'm a huge golfer, love the golf at cool places. I have a group called M19. If you're interested, just comment below. I'll get you some information for that. But we're just entrepreneurs who go and play really cool places like Bandon Dunes and Pebble Beach and stuff. It's a lot of fun. But anyway, here's the thing, like, I remember when I first started playing, or when I was trying to make that transition from a player to a golfer, going from a golfer to a player, and making that transition. A golfer, man, we just go out there and have fun, whatever. But I really wanted to get low. I wanted to go single digits. And so I had to learn to become a player. I had to learn to hit shots. And I remember, like, I'd be stuck in the sand. Dude, if anyone here has played golf, you understand how hard it can be difficult to get out of the sand. Now, some of you may be saying experts, and I hate you. I'm just kidding. You just frustrate me because it's amazing. But I remember I'd try to get out of the sand. So, all right, I'd watch a YouTube video, open a club face, weight on the front foot, come through the ball, wouldn't get out. I'd close the face, and I'd skull the sucker, right? So there's all these type of different things to do, and I'd be stuck in the sand. And then I'd be like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I'd get in the sand, I'd panic. I didn't want to do anything, then I'd half swing it. And then finally, I got a lesson. And I figured out what I was doing wrong. Had to open the stance, open the club face, make sure I get the chest towards the pin, and swing all the way through. Now, it's a whole lot easier said than done. But I took action. And that's really the biggest problem when you're stuck, is to take that action. So let's look at, like, decision fatigue. You have too many choices, so you make none. And when you become a business owner, you have multiple employees. I got caught in this. My gosh. Dude, because I'd have, installs going on. We'd have new orders coming in. We need to hire somebody. We'd be rolling out a new CRM. And I just remembered, like, especially rolling out the new CRM, I would just be so many times like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how this works. I'll just shut it. I'll do it tomorrow, right? And we just procrastinate and we push it off. So I didn't make any decisions. And it feels like you're paralyzed almost. And that really kind of moves into the next thing. And the decision fatigue really brings into the fear of wrong move. Like, this is called analysis paralysis. Like, how many times you go in and just start analyzing stuff time and time again. And listen, I'm the worst at this. And, like, right now we're looking for a car for my wife. And I think I'm driving her insane. Absolutely insane. Because I analyze everything. I'm like, well, but if we look at this year, what if we look at this year as a certified pre-owned? Maybe we should lease a new one. So let's go down that road and see what that looks like. And then I go into, well, what about if it has this option and not this option? Is that okay with you? What about what color do you like on the exterior? What color do you like on the interior? And then I just get caught up in all this and not trying to figure out what's going to work. And eventually she'll get to the point and she's like, if you don't buy that stupid car, I'm going to throw your computer into the lake because I'm tired of talking about it. So I can definitely get caught into that analysis paralysis. Do everything yourself. You have no leverage, no momentum. And I see a lot of this because I'm guilty of this. I was so guilty of this. We're chugging as a company. We got about 5 employees. But man, I got in my own way because I'm a little bit of a control freak. So if you can relate to that, you understand, right? And so I remember, it's like, I can't make any decisions. I can't get any momentum. And I'd come to the realization I needed to hire a director to take over the staff. I couldn't do it internal. It'd be too much internal fighting. I had to get an external person in. We found the right person, and it was amazing. Now, here's something I got to tell you. And I did this in some other video. Like, give your employees permission to fail. Because I promise you, when you bring that person in, she's going to fail. And I don't mean she's going to fail as like she won't be able to do the job. She won't do it the way you like it because you've been stuck in your ways and you get a little complacent because you're like, well, this just works. I'm like, well, it turns out she did it way better than I ever did it. That's what it turned out to be, So Give them that permission to fail. Understand there's going to be a ramp up time. Understand they're not going to do things like you do it. And if you go in with that mindset, it's going to be a whole lot easier to make that transition. Now, the next thing is no clear next step. You have big goals with no bridge to today, right? So what's that mean? Is you have to have steps. We talked about having, you set your goal and then you go in and you set some things to achieve those goals. We wonder why we're not achieving them. And it's all because we don't have those action steps in place. So we got to get this. All right, here's some steps how to get unstuck. First of all, you got to shrink the problem. Stop. All right, I'm pretty sure I've talked about in this past, but you need to have your own board. What I mean by that, trusted advisors around it you can go to. Listen, I have Ashley, who's my best friend. He's a missionary to Ecuador. We've been friends forever. We work together. I have Ron Surratt, who's been my spiritual father since I was 18 years old. And then I have John Luke. John Luke he's been my prayer partner. We both had business at the same time. He's an unbelievable businessman. Love him to death. And then I have a couple other people I seek out. And I have my coach, David Blanchard, who's stinking amazing. I always explain David's like you're sitting down on a nice summer, you got a cool breeze coming in, and you got maybe a little glass of whiskey or a little glass of bourbon, and you're having a conversation with your grandfather. That's what it's like to sit down and talk with David. So I love David so much. He's amazing. But the problem is a lot of times we try to make all these decisions ourselves. And you need to run it by people. You need to have that board you can go to. Those boards of trusted advisors that you trust individually and get their opinion on things. It's going to help you make that decision, right? But the other big thing is make one decision and move forward. So many times we don't do anything. Just make the decision, move forward. End the story. All right. The second thing you got to do is get out of your own head, right? You've just so many times that we just run things over and over ahead, afraid we're going to fail. Again, this goes back to it's okay to fail. Like, don't worry about it. As I'd say before in the first video, I'd rather be a water walker than a dry boat center all day long, right? The third thing I do is audit your time honestly, right? Are you busy on the wrong things? Are you involved in your business doing the wrong things? So it's that old adage, you got to work on your business, not in your business. And so many times we get caught up in the finite details that we forget the big picture. We just got to move forward. Now, in my case, I'm a big picture person and don't pay so much to the details. And that's a whole different discussion. But you know what, though? I hired somebody who was detail-oriented. So that was the awesome part. So once I got her, that solved a lot of my issues, right? So make a decision, any decision. Again, you got to be moving forward. An imperfect action beats a perfect non-action all day. Do it, guys. Just as Nike would say. Just go and do it, And then sometimes second to last one's change your environment, right? Sometimes you just need to get out. When you're thinking about things, trying to discuss different things, you just need to get out. Dude, there's times where I'm like, I work in my home office. Sometimes I'm like, I go to my club. I'll sit in my club. Sometimes I go to a coffee shop. Sometimes I just go for a walk if I got to make a decision. I just need to clear my head. I need to get out there, get the fresh air, get the sun beating down on me. It's awesome. So sometimes just change your environment. And then the last thing is find that water walker moment. Sometimes you're just waiting for someone to give you permission. No one's going to give it to you. You just have to step out of the boat and do it yourself. You've got this. So understand this. Being stuck isn't a failure. It's friction. And friction means you're actually moving towards something. So the question is, why am I stuck? It's, what is the mud made of? Because once you know what that mud's made of, then it's a whole lot easier to get up. And it tells you where you need to push. Like if I go and I analyze my golf game, and let's just say I'm stuck, man, I'm a 11 handicap. I can't get down to a 9 to save my life, right? Like, I don't know what's going on. And I'm playing, I'm practicing, I know what's going on. Well, guess what? I need to go look at the data. How many greens in regulation am I hitting? How many putts am I hitting? How many fairways am I hitting? Listen, if you're hitting 3 fairways, that's probably your problem. Because I guarantee you, for me, if I hit a fairway, I'm pretty confident with my irons, I'll make par. Because I'm confident in my irons, I'm confident in my short game, right? So once I have that data, then I can go and get unstuck. So once I figured out, hey, I need to hit more fairways, I need to go work on my driver, right? Or go and look at your putts. Are you three putting all the time, right? Or sometimes data can be, you're not translating your data. For instance, if you go look at your scorecard, man, I got a ton of one putts, right? Well, that's because it took you 3 shots to get to the green with your iron, and then you chipped really well. So you're chipping really well. That means your irons are hurting. So just know how to interpret your data. So comment below what gets you stuck in your business. Love to hear from you. Until next time, let's go, baby.